The harder I work, the more I live. These words were spoken by George Bernard Shaw. They speak to the mind and soul of a human being, about commitment and self-worth. Hi, I'm Robert David Hall. I've been working as an actor now for about 30 years, and all my life, really, to prove that talent has no limits. Sounds idealistic, but it's true. We've seen what desire and commitment can do every day. When you take the time to identify new or underemployed populations, you'll find amazing, talented, and dedicated individuals ready and able to work. And people with disabilities are an untapped employment resource. Open up the workplace to a variety of minds and opinions, and business thrives. So does the community. It's just good business sense. Let me share a few success stories with you, demonstrating that talent knows no limits.
My name is Jose Luis Naranjo, and I am an engineer here at Northrop Grumman. I got my degree in aerospace engineering, or also known as rocket science, so I'm a rocket scientist. Halfway through my experience at MIT, I was involved in an ATV accident. Getting out of the hospital, I said I want to go back to school and finish, and so I went back to MIT, and they were very accommodating. In spite of my disability, I was still able to finish college, and not only that, but get a job and still continue on with my dreams that I had as a little kid.
Derek is Jose's manager.
Has a very unique culture. We hire for the qualifications. Look at the products that we build. We only hire the best of the best.
When I first applied, I wasn't necessarily sure whether I should disclose whether I had a disability or not. And then I went over the job rec and I said, well, I can do everything that I can do there, and I feel like the disability has nothing to do with that particular position, so I didn't disclose the disability at all.
Cheryl works in HR at Northrop Grumman Corporation.
Most of the time, we might not even know. You can see all the benefits from bringing in a diverse culture, all of the wonderful talents and things that brings to the table, and it's very exciting and rewarding.
You say there's disabled people, but I would say it's more like they're people that happen to have disabilities. There's a certain inherent problem-solving skill set that you really develop because of the disability. You'd be surprised the type of abilities that actually come with a disability.
When people engage, they're more productive and they do better work.
Fostering diversity and inclusion makes for a more engaging workplace. With the diversity in people that you hire, you also get a diversity in ideas. You're really missing out if you are overlooking people because of their disabilities. If you don't get them, I will.
If it's not challenging, then I think I will get bored very easily. There really is no limit as to what I can overcome.
Now you'll meet Sammy. He supervises Melvin at Dreyer's Grand Ice Cream.
Working with Melvin is fantastic. He's got a great attitude. Anytime there's something to do that's even not in his normal routine, he's willing to help. Melvin's always willing to learn, and if he needs to understand more, he asks, and with just a little bit of patience and training, it's never been a problem.
Here's Melvin at work in the factory.
Janitorial crew, and I order most of all the supplies. And I clean and I sweep around the plant, because you never know when we're going to have company.
He's been here for over 18 years, and he's had perfect attendance the whole time, so he's working on his 19th year of perfect attendance. Over 4 years ago, we had a second plant ribbon cutting ceremony. Melvin was asked to be the one cutting the ribbon, since he is such a positive employee and been here such a long time.
I was the one that broke the ground over there, and I was on the news and in the paper.
Melvin's just a symbol of that can-do attitude that Dreyer's wants in all their people. So he's just a reflection of what the company desires for all their employees.
Principal Financial Group hired Sean. You'll hear from Sean and her boss, Jennifer.
Principal Financial Group. I love my job. I love working with the clients. I love working with people. I like the diversity in my job itself. I'm never bored.
As an independent financial advisor, I work with both individuals and business owners and their employees to help identify their goals and develop steps to get them there. Sean is a liaison between myself and my clients. Working in this industry, you're required to be detail-oriented and dynamic. Everything is changing constantly, so you need the personality and the knowledge to be able to know where to look and where to find all these different things that you need to change and adapt to.
I tend to find people with mental illness tend to be very bright and very intellectual, and that is one of our assets.
Sean is very analytic. She's very good at digging deep into market research and helping with asset analysis. You need a lot of trust to be able to rely on somebody who can manage your schedule, who can manage your clients well and reassure them when you're not available or in meetings. This position is crucial. It's like the backbone of my business.
Even though you can't see the disability, it's there, but if you can look beyond that disability and see the person and the individual for who they are and what they have to offer, then it will be a win-win situation all around.
Starbucks store manager Young talks about his experience and hiring Jeremy.
And little did I know that in actuality it was him that was helping me, and especially in the business sense. I thought I was doing him a favor by adapting my store to acquire someone that had disabilities, and yet he brought in customers that would drive miles and miles and miles to come to this specific store to come see Jeremy. And he will be the first one to open the door and greet you and say, hey, good morning, welcome to Starbucks. And there's no better way to start your day with someone that's that enthusiastic about anything.
I love it. Every day is wonderful, working really hard.
It's almost impossible to not smile when Jeremy talks to you or kind of centers you or grounds you on what's really important in life. And the job actually ends up getting done better and faster because he's always there, being so positive and uplifting.
I love to help others and get to know new people.
I tend to work too much, I tend to work too hard, and I tend to stress out a lot. And Jeremy's the kind of guy where he'll come in and he'll see that and you'll go, hey, relax, it's just work, let's have fun. I might teach him how to make coffee or how to clean a table, but he definitely teaches me stuff that I tend to forget.
Derek was hired by the Kern County DA's office. We'll hear from Derek and District Attorney Ed Jagels.
Several years ago, I was in the Navy. When I got off active duty, I went to the reserves. I got a job with the U.S. Border Patrol as a patrol agent. A few years into my career, a gunshot left me in the wheelchair. I felt like I was too young to be retired and went to law school and started doing a law clerk program here with the Kern County DA's office. I have 2 boys. I cannot have them see Dad get hurt, quit, lay down, sit home, and take a retirement for the rest of his life. As long as I'm breathing and as long as I'm alive and kicking, or well, maybe not kicking, but as long as I'm going along, I want those kids to know you never stop. Understand that a disability is not an inability. I go to hearings, I represent the people of the state of California, I write my own motions, I draft my own paperwork. There have been no accommodations, no expensive remodeling, and anything that most employers, I think, are very wary of.
We hire based on talent, based on ability, and we find that there is no disadvantage whatever to hiring someone with a disability. We simply look at the qualifications and the ability, and if the individual has the ability, the disability doesn't make any difference.
The staff and the attorneys here at the DA's office have been phenomenal. If an employer hires someone with a disability, regardless of what that issue is, and if they can provide half of the support and the positive atmosphere that the DA's office has for me, they will have created the most loyal and driven, focused employee that they could ever imagine.
For employers looking for assistance to meet their hiring needs, we hear from ADECO and the California Department of Rehabilitation. Here's Rebecca from ADECO.
60 countries, and in the US we have 1,250 offices. We reach out to the entire workforce population through different resources, and we place people into temporary or temp to hire assignments throughout the US. We have developed a very good relationship with the DOR, who specifically bring us candidates with disabilities that in turn we can screen and put out to work with our customers.
Here's Michelle from the DOR.
A consumer from the Department of Rehabilitation, you're going to get a highly qualified applicant who can do the job. We help screen for you the consumers so that when you get somebody to your front door from DOR, you know that they have been pre-screened, qualified applicants for your position. One of our best assets is that our consumers actually come with a counselor in the background who helps you understand what kind of reasonable accommodations they might need in order to do their job and the essential functions of their job.
A lot of it's about communication. We work very closely. The local offices will work closely with the local DOR offices and get a better understanding of the type of work assignments we're likely to have. What we're able to do by working with the DOR is talk to them specifically about the relationship that we have. There are experienced individuals that can help a customer if they're looking to have a diverse program for the very first time and want to know what that looks like.
When you start hiring more and more persons with disabilities, your diversity of your workforce just really increases. It's not the disability you're hiring a qualified applicant. Reasonable accommodations can be done at low or no cost. Department of Rehabilitation assists with that, with helping you understand what reasonable accommodations might be needed for the consumer, but they can still do the job just like anybody else. When you're looking to hire somebody with a disability, remember you're hiring a talented, qualified applicant, and talent knows no limits.
Kristen will tell us about her experience at the Federal Bureau of Reclamation. We'll also hear from Pete, her supervisor.
Reclamation. I have spina bifida, as well as hydrocephalus, as well as a learning disability. It makes me feel kind of neat and special because I'm able to help provide the water for the state of California. It's just been very interesting to learn about the different things that have to do with the water system here in the state of California, as well as all of the 17 western states.
A diverse organization brings a certain amount of strength to it. Having people with disabilities here in the workforce is just as important as anyone else in the workforce. There are a cross-section of individuals within the nation that have different diversity aspects, and in the federal government we try to mirror that. People can identify with us better, and I think that brings a great strength to the organization. Our vacancies are announced essentially nationwide. We went out to the general public, and frankly, the resumes that we received were not up to snuff. We didn't find the right person. We branched out, contacted the Department of Rehab, and we found Kristen. The first thing that stood out for us was her qualifications. Once we interviewed with her, we found that she was a very pleasant person. She seemed to click very well with the staff. She certainly presented herself very well in her interview, and it seemed like this was going to be a very good match for us, and in fact it has been. To tell you the truth, it seems like she's always been with us. She's just fit in so well.
You should hire the person who best fits into the position. I've been able to work with everybody in the office, and it hasn't been a problem whatsoever. I'm loving my job. It gives me fulfillment and feeling like I contribute to society. I've been able to achieve a full-time position of working, with a wonderful agency, a wonderful department, and using all of my abilities that I came into the job with.
She has a lot of talent behind her, and what she'll do most likely in her future is move on to bigger and better things. I just see there's no doubt in my mind about that.
This is Ann from ICM and her employee Colby.
I met Colby when ICM acquired our company a few years ago. He laughed and he charmed me, and I thought, well, if ICM, this big company, hires people who have disabilities, then they must be a good company. The way ICM was introduced to Colby was through the Bus Buddies program. A former agent who used to work here was on their board of directors and said, well, let's give this a try. 10 years later, it's no longer trying, it's successful. And what Colby does now is he scans everything from corporate legal documents to headshots for clients, scripts, receipts, accounts payable, piles and piles of paper, and he is the most accurate scanner we have.
I put it in here and I push this button right here and it starts going through. That's how it works.
Colby has never been late to work. He almost never takes a sick day because this is his home. He loves working here.
I started in the ground floor, then I started in the video department. Then I got promoted for a BlackBerry and everything. Right here.
There is no corporate environment that I've ever worked in where someone like Colby would not be an addition.
Robert David Hall.
Never underestimate the desire to succeed. A desire born from the heart is a powerful motivator. Consider the brilliant Stephen Hawking, now nearly paralyzed by ALS, yet he is one of the most astonishing scientific minds of our times. Through your efforts and support, we can change the focus from one of exception to one of expectation and prove that talent knows no limits.
www.talentknowsnolimits.info. For more information, contact DOR at www.dor.ca.gov or give us a call at 916-558-5404.